ICU nurse here at Albany Med?
ICU nurse at Albany Med.
27 years?
27 years.
27 years.
What has that 27 years been like for you?
For the most part, it's positive. It has some negative. I think we did have and still have some issues, but I feel that it's been successfully, for the most part, addressed. And with regard to the union, I think we had a fairly decent offer this time around. And I just feel that at this point, I wish that the union would accept the proposal of Albany Med and move forward. What frustrated me with the union is the fact that when we had a concern and it's not just me, it's a lot of fellow nurses in our unit, trying to address this with the union and encourage them to at least respond to us. We did not get any response in the last couple of days. We sent multiple emails to our reps, and we didn't hear anything until after the announcement that the offer was rejected.
How does that make you feel that your voice is not being heard?
Well, I understand that there is a lot of politics involved. I was, along with other people, frustrated by the fact that I don't see a clear path forward, and we did not hear any concrete plan on how we're going to address the issue, and also we're not told why, in particularly, the plan was denied. I have an idea, of course, why it probably happened, but I'm not sure whether I have all the information.
So are you hearing about the contracts through stories from the news and through Albany Med, but not through the nurses union?
No, we heard stories from Albany Med and from the union, but I think in the last few days we didn't hear any response from the union, when I think they should have come and present their side maybe a little better, or at least listen to the concerns that we all had and moved forward, because I think the contract, it's not perfect. It's far away from perfect. But when you are in a negotiation, I don't think anybody can expect to get 100% with everything. And I think there is probably time to move forward.
Okay.
Are you part of the union?
Every nurse is a part of the union in this hospital.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Start with you. Just tell me what you think of this contract.
I thought the one that Albany Med offered was fair and actually in support of the nursing staff, and the lack of information that we've gotten from the other side in the union kind of is depressing, because they're supposed to be representing the staff and it doesn't feel like they are. It seems like they're just after the money, not actually our best interests.
Is that the same as the three of you feel as well?
Yeah, I agree with what Sean said. I thought the contract that was put out, or the offer that was put out by Albany Med, was fair. They sent it to us, our management sent it to us with no, bias either way. They just wanted us to read it and understand it so we would make an informed decision and be able to talk to our representatives. And basically everyone I work with agreed it was a pretty fair contract, and it was fair to all of us as nurses. So I wish the union would have accepted it. It was a good one.
I would definitely agree with that. And throughout the negotiations, we've gotten way more updates from the hospital. For at least me personally, I've seen way more updates from the hospital than from the union. And just exactly what you were saying, I felt this was a sound offer. And I felt that maybe the union is stuck on the fact that they want this to go to a closed shop apparatus and not what it is currently, and that might be one of their sticking points. But the current offer was more than fair, and it's very disappointing to me that they denied a vote on it.
Have you experienced things like this in your experience being at the hospital?
As far as
the
contracts, not thus far. We're kind of still in the infancy of being with the union.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of the first time that I really felt like this was truly a fair offer that was not even put to a vote.
And I want to hear from you as well. I know we're going all over the room here. Tell me, Is this the same feeling through with many of the nurses here at Albany Med, or is it very split decision between who supports it and who doesn't?
As far as I've heard, I think there's been a lot of support towards the contract that Albany Med put out. I think with how much support it has gotten, it should have gone to a vote with the union.
And that's what you all wanted, was this to go to a vote?
An equal and fair vote, not just union paying members, but I think it should be hospital-wide. It affects the whole hospital. If I'm ultimately going to have to pay dues, I feel like I should have a say in this. I don't think it should be a small portion, which we actually don't even know what the portion of actual union paying members is currently. It could be 30, 40, 100 people making a decision for 4,000 plus people, which seems highly unfair.
Are you union members?
I'm not.
No.
None of you are?
Not union paying members,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Core member, basic member.
Yeah.
Okay. And is everyone always a core member, a basic member when you
Right.
work at Albany
Yep.
Med? Okay. And then you can choose from there if you want more protection to pay into it?
Yes, as
Okay.
in the current contract, you could pay dues if you so chose, and they want to make it a closed shop where the option's not available.
Okay, gotcha.
You-
So
it would
every
be
nurse would be
required.
paying dues,
How do you
basically.
feel about that, potentially not having the option?
Just the fact that they don't actually explain what the dues is going to do, like you could be paying money and you have no idea what it's going to.
Yeah.
They, at least Albany Med, from what we can tell, has been straightforward and they've put forth what they've put on the table and we have it in writing. We haven't actually gotten anything in writing from the union on what they would actually cover with the dues.
How are you guys feeling about the proposal and just the fact that we haven't gotten a vote and where we are right now?
Where we are right now is very frustrating, especially for the people on our unit. We have a lot of nurses in this building that are single mothers, that are paying astronomical rates for health insurance, and they're put in positions that are very tough where they have to work extreme amounts of overtime just to make ends meet. The proposal not going through really puts a bind even on people who are not parents, who actually need the funds to be able to support themselves. And my biggest question, at least with the union, is what are you doing to counteract it? Because you haven't put out any information as to how you can change it, how you can alter it, or make it better. You just are simply harping on the fact that you want a closed shop, which I've been a part of many other facilities that have had unions, and it's always been an option. It's very nice to have that option because, again, like the last nurse had said, we don't know where all that union money is going and what actual benefit are you giving us outside of job security.
Have you guys heard from the union since this most recent contract negotiation where Albany Med talked to us, I believe it was last Monday or last week sometime?
No.
We have not.
Nope. Have you guys reached out to the union asking any questions or concerns?
No. They occasionally walk by our floor and send emails, but that's about it. I mean, it would be nice if at least they'd come to our floor more often to, verbally interact with us to discuss in person what it is that they want for us.
Do you feel as if the union is not hearing your concerns as a nurse who is someone that is working here at Albany Med daily?
I think they hear us. They're just choosing not to listen.
What is the importance for you guys to be able to have the open shop, and not to be forced into the union, to be given that choice?
I just think it's a good standard. I mean, why would you want to? Wouldn't you want people just to follow because they're providing something good for us, not just because it's required, you know?
And as Maurice had previously mentioned, I mean, we're living in a very different economy. Right now, people can't afford to be having extra money taken out of their paycheck. And, yeah, I mean, especially around the holidays, it's a hard time. People are now not getting the retro pay and our increased wages, so.
And I want to hear from you a little bit about the retro pay. I know that they said Albany Med, because his contract was not taken up by the union, they're taking that retro pay out. And as you mentioned, Maurice, people need this money. You know, what have you been hearing, and for you as well?
It's very disheartening that we're not able to have that because especially it's, coming to the holidays, really, people really we're relying on that money.
Mm-hmm. I know when I spoke to the union last week, they said nurses don't care about the extra couple $1,000 pay of the retro pay. What do you think about that?
I think that they definitely do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much more else to say about that, and that kind of just sounds very foolish. I mean, people, like Maurice had said, they're single mothers. Insurance is increasing, rent is increasing, groceries are increasing. It's very hard right now.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add? Seems like you have something, Maurice. It's in there.
I'm just trying to think of what to say.
You're good. Take a minute.
I would just like for the union to put something out there that isn't focused on what Albany Med executives are doing. Let's actually focus on what the nurses are doing. We are at the bedside, we are saving lives, we are literally doing the work. And the people that are making these decisions for the union are so far away from the bedside, it's actually a little nerve-wracking because you're not here in the trenches with us. And they harp on staffing, they harp on patient safety. I got to tell you, these 3 women, I would let take care of my own mother. So for them to say that, it's just like, well, we all have a license, we all have a job, and we're all here for a reason. And whether the union's here in this facility or not, we're still going to do an excellent job with patient care.
Okay, thank you. Tell me how you feel about this current contract proposal.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is frustrating. I did actually go to union meetings a few years back. I've worked at a couple places in the hospital. It seemed to me a lot of problem presentation, not a lot of solution presentation. I grew frustrated. I stopped attending. I understand there's probably a lot going on behind the scenes. There's probably things that both sides are trying to get done that aren't making the headlines. The big thing is it's getting dragged out and there's not a lot of, it just doesn't feel like we're getting anywhere. Sure, there's a lot of different ways we could be compensated, a lot of different ways the union could prove a benefit. I think a lot of people are fixated on pay. I think Albany Med gave us a chance to get that. I hear more updates from Albany Med. I don't hear a lot of updates from the union. I think if you're going to try and make these pushes and reject offers and deliberate for months on end, I'd like to know what's going on. I understand it's open versus closed, and that's a whole other discussion, but I think a lot of the people that I talked to felt like, let's get it done, let's take this deal. Smart people are going to be smart with the wage increase. Let's put it back in the employees' hands. We need to retain staff. We need to give people a reason to come here and stay here. And a lot of people that I talked to, and I sent a pretty spirited email that I had some coworkers look over and sent it to 2 people heavily involved in the union. I got no response from them. Not pleading, but basically suggesting, hey, I think we should strongly consider a large portion of people that work at this hospital and have worked here for years and don't plan on leaving at this point want to get the deal done.
Okay.
And I got no answer, so.
And you are not a union member, or are you?
No.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.